We're going to have a look at breaking down a round off so you can teach this to your gymnasts. Before they get started on this skill, they should be able to sufficiently perform a nice cartwheel. So the first thing we're going to do is ask the gymnast to do a variation of the cartwheel called a front to back cartwheel. So they're going to start with their arms up by their ears. They're going to step forwards and stop in a lunge, getting ready to do their cartwheel. Now from here, they're going to try and do their cartwheel along the line and finish facing back the way that they came. So after the front to back cartwheel, we're then going to ask the gymnast to do the same thing again, but join the other foot next to the lead foot on the floor. So we start with our arms up, step forwards into their cartwheel to face the other way with their arms up by their ears, ready to finish. The next thing we're going to do is ask the gymnast to step forwards into their cartwheel. They're going to join their feet down exactly like they just did, but they're going to drop their arms down in front of their legs, ready for their flick or whatever they're going to do on the other end of their round off. So their arm's going to start upwards, they're going to step forwards into their cartwheel, join their feet and bring their arms down in front of their legs, ready to swing them into their flick. Now we're going to try and get the gymnast to understand how to kick their lead leg up, join their second leg into handstand, and then we're going to bring them down onto the block nice and safely. So TJ's going to start with his arms up like he just did, start his cartwheel against the wall. I'm going to grab his lead leg, stopping him in handstand with his legs together, and then place him nicely onto the wall. Now the gymnast understands how to kick their lead leg up and join their legs in handstand. We can then get them to perform a round off where they join their feet, go over onto their belly, onto a soft surface. So TJ, arms up, step forwards, kick and join their legs together, finishing in a nice stretch position. Now the gymnast has got a good understanding of driving their back leg over the top, joining their legs in handstand and landing onto their belly. We can now start to get them to push from their hands, from that arch to dish, making that corbett action. You can find a video of plenty of corbett exercises here. So TJ is going to demonstrate for us how he can start with his arms up. He's going to step forwards and do his round off the platform and push onto his feet onto the mat. Now we can get involved and support this as well. So TJ, if you could jump back on. If he round offs with his left leg forwards, then that means I'm going to have to stand on this side. And if he round offs with the other leg forwards, then you need to swap over and go to the other side of the block. Your hands are going to go across his waist and onto his back. So once the gymnast has done plenty of work on their corbett action, snapping from arch through handstand into dish, they can do their round off a block, and you've brought that down lower and lower each time. And you've also taught them how to do the jump step. Then we can introduce this onto a springboard now so they get a little bit of help moving forwards, jumping from the springboard. TJ's going to jump and swing his arms up into his round off across the floor, and then shows a nice rebound jump to land at the end. It's very important to make sure the gymnasts start learning these round offs from standing positions or from jump step positions, so they really get the technique correct and they push through their hands and snap and lift their chest. We don't want to encourage the gymnasts to run into round offs too quickly, because too much power can take away from their control and understanding of the round off itself. So next of all is to get the gymnast to run into their round off, do their hurdle step, big push, rebound jump off their feet and land nice and safe. For this purpose, we're going to ask the gymnast to finish their round off with their arms up, just so it's nice and controlled, so we don't have them flying backwards, because we're not asking them to do a flick or any somersaults just yet. Off you go, Tej. So nice run, arms up, rebound with arms up, and landing nicely onto his feet. So the main things to take into account when you're teaching a round off is making sure the gymnast drives their back leg over the top of their head. They join their feet through handstand. They understand the corbett action, so pushing from arch through handstand into a nice dish. They keep their knees tight, doing a nice rebound jump and then landing. If we manage to get the gymnast to do a nice round off like this, when we start progressing it on to moving them backwards and doing more preps towards flicks, this is going to become very easy for them.